what was your favorite candy to get on Halloween, or is your favorite candy to get on Halloween if you still go out and trick or treat? I'm Mood Juice Magic, and I was thinking about that because I went and got my Halloween candy this year. I'm that guy. You know, we always know that house, the guy that gives out the full-size candy bars. This year I only bought 2 boxes, so I only got 60 candy bars, which may be a gross miscalculation because for the first time in a while, Halloween's on a Friday. So maybe I underjudged and we'll have to run back to the store. But the last couple of years, the reason I did that is the last couple of years, I've only gotten I think last year I had 1 trick-or-treater, maybe 2. The year before that, maybe 5. And it's like diminishing returns. You know, it's like lower and lower amounts of people trick-or-treating. I'll tell you what, though. There's an event that takes place in my area. There's 2 events, big ones, that take away from the trick-or-treating. One, there is a huge Halloween block party at the next neighborhood over. Great neighborhood. They always do it up really good for Halloween. Whereas on my block, I'm the only house now. My next door neighbor had moved. A new fellow lives there. He doesn't decorate. So I'm the only one that does Halloween now. I get why you wouldn't want to take your kids out of the way to go do that. Hopefully they'll still show up and get the candy because that's why we get it, so they can have fun. It's always fun to see them enjoying themselves. So the block party, which is really cool, they still trick-or-treat there, but there's a big party they do. Everybody gets involved. Everybody's welcome in the community to come and hang out. Great folks that do that. Love that every year. I don't go because I'm home giving out candy and usually doing my show Vanishing Gates from the front yard. This year I won't be because my face still isn't healed. But, you know, in the past it'd be good to go and stuff. That said, the other thing that stops trick-or-treating in my area, this is a scourge, a blight, in my opinion. And some of you are going to get mad at me for this. And I don't care. This scourge, I remember when it started. It was killing Halloween. And it killed it around the time I graduated high school. Halloween took a dive right at the time I graduated high school. Well, in the 90s, this trend started called trunk or treat. Trunk or treat seems harmless enough, right? If you're into Halloween. It seems like a good idea. Until you think about it. The first thing I want to point out is we spend a ton of our time telling our kids, don't take strangers from people and candy from strangers in cars. Trunk or treating is saying, hey kids, let's go get candy from strangers from their cars. Brilliant parenting. There's no hypocrisy there at all. No way that's going to confuse a kid. Problem solved on that one. That's pretty easy, right? When you think about it, it's a pretty dumb idea. It's a stupid idea to trunk or treat. The next one here is, do you know how trunk or treating started? Because I remember when it started. I know how it started. It started in churches, which I'm not against churches being involved in holidays. The problem is when churches are involved in holidays because they want to ruin it for the kids to have fun. Everything kids do seems like it's satanic to some people. I don't understand. These kids are not out there worshiping the devil. They're out there having fun, being kids, being Goombas. They have to deal with the boogeyman 100% of the time in real life. Why not one night a year, they get to dress up and confront the boogeyman on a safe way and be the boogeyman themselves to the boogeyman. Back and forth. That way they're not as scared. That way they get a little reprieve so they know that no matter how bad life gets or how scary it is, it's not always the end of it. You can still have joy in the scary. They have to deal with stuff enough as it is in this day and age, dude. These kids have not had a good life. They just haven't. Compared to how I was as a kid, my life sucked, but at least there were parts of it that were a reprieve from all of that incredible terror, like the badness. I would much rather confront a fictional monster than the real life shit that I had to deal with as a kid. Kids now, they lost a chunk of their childhood with the lockdowns, like a chunk of it. How are we going to justify removing trick-or-treating from them? How are we going to take that away from them? Take that away from their childhood memories and not allow them to have that when we robbed them of so much else because we were scared as the adults, the ones that are supposed to be the big tough guys. Luckily, my kids don't have the same problem because I didn't give a shit the whole time. I knew what was up. Regardless, trunk-or-treating isn't necessarily a bad thing on the whole. It's when it detracts from everything else. You shouldn't do something just to ruin everybody else's fun. And when you come home on Halloween with a bunch of crappy candy and Bible tracts, come on, man. If you're going to do trunk or treat at a church, you better give out the best candy. I'm not talking about the mainstream stuff I'm giving out. I'm talking about you better have some king-size candy bars, some Cadbury stuff, some high-end candies. splurge. If you're going to take that away from them, you better splurge and make it worth their while. Because if I see another freaking lollipop come from one of those things, I might blow a gasket and have an aneurysm. They have these goodie bags. They always have goodie bags. It's always the shittiest candy you can find. Usually some trinkets, like some stickers and stuff. Some Jesus stickers a lot of the time. Look, I'm a Christian. I don't mind it to a degree. But one day a year, dude. One day a year, you can relax. Just one, Karen. Just one, Karen, for Christ. You can relax just a little bit. I need to make a Karen for Christ like logo to have like up like right here. Kind of like Woodrow T. Woodchipper hangs out here when we talk about the kid touchers. But I digress. Look, Halloween is my favorite time of the year. It's on a Friday this year. Hopefully I didn't undershoot. Again, I want you guys to let me know what your favorite candies are down below. I'm not going to give them to you because, I don't know you. If I do know you and you're watching this and you have kids, you better bring them by the house, dude. I bought a bunch of candy. I hope I have to buy more. I really hope that I have to do a late night run and get more candy because it would be nice to see the change of pace. Again, it's on a Friday this year, so aside from just that, guys, if you're out partying, I'm all for it. I'm going to be the designated driver after I'm done with the trick-or-treaters, if I even have any. I'll be doing the DD thing. And just keep in mind to always have a designated driver if you're going to drink, or don't drive. Do not get in your car, whatever you do. If you're drinking, especially on a day like Halloween, a night like Halloween, when kids are going to be all over the place. You don't want to be that guy who takes a few drinks, doesn't pay attention, and hits a kid because they were a little too sauced. You don't want to be that guy or gal. You do not want that on your conscience. That said, I got to make sure I put my black cats in. We have 2 black cats we adopted. We've never had a problem with it. We've only had them this first year. I think this will be the first year of Halloween for them, both of them. Maybe not the bigger cat, but the smaller one for sure. But I'm going to put them inside. Normally I don't do that because they're inside-outside cats. I'm just going to not let them outside. Just to be safe. Because you do hear rumors about black cats being targeted in my area. That does happen. There are people out there who are nefarious. One thing, kids, when you're out and about, make sure you have a light. Make sure you're visible, even if your costume is kind of dark. Make sure you have like a reflective strip or something. You can get them. Your parents should be able to find them for you. Always have your parents check your candy. Always. I know it sounds trite, like an urban legend, but this has happened before. It's blown out of proportion, yes. It doesn't mean you want to be that one person out of millions who has one-time event happen to them. So make sure your parents check your candy for you. Don't take any unwrapped candy. Don't accept produce. Do not let them give you apples. They're not putting razor blades in it. And B, you just don't want to take produce from anyone unless it's a store or a vendor, okay, or a relative or someone. You know what I mean? Pick it off a tree. They're free. That said, parents, watch your kids. Take them trick-or-treating. Let them have fun. Let them enjoy the holiday. You're going to be worn out. So what? The next day is Saturday. Be worn out. You're already worn out. You're worn out 365 days of the year. You get more breaks than the kids do, trust me. I know it doesn't seem like it, but you do. As a parent, I can tell you. And if you don't have kids, you can still hand out candy. I'm just letting you know. You can. You don't have to. Just turn off your light. Kids, don't go knocking on houses with the porch lights are out or there's no sign of activity. If they want to be left alone, leave them alone. Go to the next house. Problem solved. Anyway, I hope everyone has a safe and happy Halloween. Enjoy it. Don't drink and drive. Kids, be safe. Watch for traffic. Follow all the rules of Halloween, and you'll be good to go. Guys, Card for Pumpkins. We're going to do that Sunday, which is tomorrow as of recording. I'm going to heal my face more. Hopefully it'll be better before Halloween because I look like I have a little Fear Her stash going on. I don't. I have a full mustache. This is just from the injury when I fell. Pretty good Halloween costume, I guess. Anyway, guys, I'm Moojus Magic. I'll see you after the holiday. Be safe. Let me know again in those comments below. And let me know how your Halloween went afterwards and see it after. All right, guys. Love you in the face. Catch you later.